Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Good Friday, and welcome to Morning in the Valley. I am Jeff Bidwell. We have got a lot to get to today. We've talked sort of about the natural process of kids getting into the transfer portal, finding a new school. It's like, all right, I'm in the portal. Hey, I've had some text conversations with schools. Hey, we've got we're gonna maybe have some Zoom calls with schools, and then time for official visits. Well, at some point, we got to get to some commitments. We've got to get to signings. And it felt like we were just kind of waiting for the dam to burst. And this week, it certainly has. The last 48 hours, it certainly has. We're going to try to get all of those bases covered from around the league for you here in the next hour or so. We're also going to talk with Murray State women's head coach Rechelle Turner. Just finished her 8th season at Murray State, a championship season for the Racers. First 5 years after a 2-decade long, wildly successful career at Murray High School, comes back across the street to Murray State, her alma mater, takes over the program there. 5 years in the Ohio Valley Conference. They had climbed the ladder, were just about ready to kick through that glass ceiling, and then Murray State made a decision to go to the Missouri Valley Conference, and an understandable step back for the Racer program. But she, after year one, implemented the system, as she calls it. And if you've watched Murray State's women play, you know what that is. They're going to get out, they're going to run, they're going to shoot threes, they're going to press. And in year 2 of the system, year 3 in the Missouri Valley, it was good enough to get Murray State to the top of the mountain, as they won not only a share of the regular season championship, won a tournament championship, the first in the Missouri Valley, and then got to the NCAA tournament for the second time in program history, first time since 2008. We'll talk to Rechelle Turner about all of that, and a year of transition, most certainly coming up for the Racer program. But we start with headlines of the day. And, look, it has been this is just, again, the new normal, if you will, since the season ended, where we always talk about, especially on the men's side, we almost just default now to, until you hear differently, you expect guys to be leaving. And so when you see schools like Illinois State that come out and it's just this, you know, machine gunning of, hey, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back, and you're like, oh, okay, that's great. I mean, we love retention here, that's great, but there are some programs where it's been quiet, and Northern Iowa has certainly been one of those schools where it's just been quiet. And of all the 16 all league guys, as we have talked about ad nauseum for the last month or so, 13 of them either graduated or entered the portal and moved on. The only 2 that we had heard from were Chase Walker and Johnny Kinzinger at Illinois State, saying they'd come back. Well, there'd been this one loose end over in Cedar Falls by the name of Trey Campbell, 3rd team all league. Hadn't heard boo from him. Coming, going, don't know. Well, yesterday, Northern Iowa, rather, made some things official, as they posted that on social media, saying essentially, well, they didn't essentially, they said, we've got unfinished business in Cedar Falls, as they put, and you can count them, 1, 2, 3, 11 guys coming back. And first and foremost on that list is Trey Campbell. Again, leading scorer, returning for them last year, 11.5 points, 3rd team all league. And so when you look at the pieces that Ben Jacobson has coming back, Leon Bond, Ben Schweiger, RJ Taylor. I mean, those are 11 points, 10 points, 9.5 points, 7.5 points. Yes, you've lost Titan Anderson. Yes, you've lost Jacob Hudson. But I've heard from corners of the Valley community of, there's been so much understandable, justifiable push for Illinois State being that preseason pick next year. Man, they got so many guys back. And then you hear Northern Iowa mentioned over there, and it was like, well, okay, but we hadn't heard anything from Northern Iowa, so it was just kind of like, okay. And then Murray State's obviously come with this big push out of the transfer portal here in the last couple of weeks with new coach Ryan Miller and getting 9 guys signed, and you're like, okay, well, they're now the latest push of we're coming and look out for us. Well, yesterday, Northern Iowa has re-entered the chat, most certainly. This is a team that won 20 games last year. This is a team that was 3rd in the conference and 14-6 in the Valley. They have a lot of pieces coming back, and certainly with the pedigree that Ben Jacobson has over there at UNI, it's great. This is not a 1-horse race, not a 2, not a 3, and there will be other schools that will come as well. But it's great to see so many of those guys coming back, and we finally finally now, a month or so after their season ended, we finally have the mystery solved when it comes to Trey Campbell and him coming back to UNI for one more season. The As we talked about Murray State and their push and their just consistent addition here within the last couple of weeks, they got, for all the folks that they have brought in here in the last couple of weeks, yesterday, a commitment and a signing all in the same day. For me, it was maybe as intriguing of an addition that they've had so far, and it's Braden Shorter, who is from Division II Washburn. He is a native of Springfield, Missouri. He had a offer from Conzo Martin at Missouri State, hometown kid, but opted to come to Murray State. And the intriguing part of him is, for all the for all the strengths, components, aspects of a basketball player, you can never go wrong with shooting. You just can't. You can never have enough shooting. And this is a kid, 6'5", 2 years at Division II Washburn, helped get them to the Division II national semifinals a year ago. He made 119 three-pointers last year. And the significance of 119 three-pointers is that led America in Division II last year. Shot 36.7%. If you translate over to Division I, there was only 5 kids in the country last year that made at least 119 threes and shot at least 36.7%. So that is that is someone that has shown he can be a volume shooter. He can make them at a good clip, and certainly, again, it's April 18th, so you never know. But how he's going to fit into Ryan Miller's scheme, which from the early the early returns from what we hear, it's going to be offense over there. And so to get a guy that can come in here and knock down shots like that is outstanding. But just an intriguing pickup for the Racers is Braden Shorter. There was some other roster moves yesterday for Murray State. Caden Rickard, who was one of the 3 freshmen who signed back in the fall, he announced his decommitment, reopening his recruitment. Trey Simpson was another one that had done that right after the coaching change in Murray a month ago or so. So Caden Rickard was a 6'5" wing out of Alabama. So he is back on the open market. Jordan McCullum, who was a freshman at Murray State last year, entered the portal a couple weeks ago. He has committed to East Tennessee State. And Nick Ellington, who was a preseason all-conference player last year in the Valley, started 62 of 65 games, I think was the number at Murray State over the last 2 years at that 5 spot. He entered the portal. He will play his 6th year coming up at George Mason. Let's talk about Roger Powell. Roger Powell has been doing some work at Valparaiso here for the last several days, most certainly, as things have gotten very active for him. It started with the commitment of Isaiah Barnes, who spent 2 years at Michigan. He spent the last 2 years at Tulsa, former 4-star recruit out of high school. He's a Chicago kid, 6'7". Started 54 out of 57 games the last 2 years for Tulsa, averaging almost 9 points a game. So that was kind of the first domino here that fell for Roger Powell at Valpo, as they have got so many pieces and big pieces, the Cooper Schwiegers, the All Rights of the world that they're trying to replace, to go get a kid of that pedigree, relatively, close to home, a Chicago kid. As I said, again, that was pretty big. And then it just became, we're going to get size. And the first young man is named JQ Roberts, played at an Indiana kid from Bloomington, has gone to Vanderbilt, played 47 games the last 2 years, 6'8", sophomore, got 2 years to go. Minutes went down from about 13.5 to 4.5 from his freshman to sophomore year. So he needed a new place to land, and he is bringing some bulk to Valparaiso. And then the bulk train just continued as Coach Powell goes and gets a young man by the name of Sean Topola, 6'9" center out of Brownsburg, Indiana. He has played at St. Mary of the Woods, which is an NAIA program, just a few minutes actually up the road from Terre Haute. 14.5 points, 12.5 rebounds, 2 blocks a game. Again, 6'9" at St. Mary of the Woods. last season. St. Mary of the Woods played Valpo first game of the year. It was an exhibition game for St. Mary of the Woods. I believe it was just one of the early bye games there for Valpo. And Topola did great, like 14 points in 13 minutes. And so, if memory serves, a couple of years ago, Ben Hummerkaus, who ended up going to Evansville before he went to Illinois, whatever NAIA school he was at, which escapes me at the moment, he played against Evansville and had a good game against Evansville. And so Evansville and David Ragland's like, oh, all right, we're gonna bookmark this kid and we'll check back in with him at the end of the year. So just interesting to watch a familiar face, somebody that showed that he could play at that level. But that is a lot. I mean, that's 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", Roger Powell going and just getting these dudes. So it's been a good week so far here for Coach Powell at Valparaiso. In the women's game, Murray State, and again, we'll talk about some of this stuff with Rechelle Turner. We can't talk to her about all of it due to the fact that we have a signing and a commitment. So we'll talk about the signing coming up in a little bit. And as I see that Coach Turner has entered the chat, so we'll get to these very briefly here. Ellery Minch, a freshman guard out of DePaul, has signed with the Racers. Keslin Sechrist, the leading scorer at Indiana State last season, has committed her services to Murray State for the next 2 years, averaged 14 points a game. Big guards, big wings. We won't be able to talk about Miss Sechrist because she hasn't signed yet, but we'll certainly talk about Ellery Minch, and we'll do that at this moment right now as we welcome in the head coach of the Murray State Racers, Rechelle Turner. Coach, good morning to you. Oh, we don't have any audio from Coach Turner. Coach Turner. I can't hear you now. Coach Turner. We've done so well on this. We've done so well. Why don't you exit back out, and when you go to log back in, it should say test your microphone, and that should get you going. And we'll try that. So, all right, we're gonna take Coach Turner out, and we're gonna talk about her those signees and commitments one more time. As again, the big one, I think from a standpoint of instant offense and kids that have shown that they can perform at this level. Keslin Sechrist, again, leading scorer last year at Indiana State, 13.8 points. Goes and rebounds too. Got 5 boards a game, 5'10". You saw her improve from 33.3% from three as a freshman, got up to 35.7 as a sophomore. Will she be able to continue to trend upwards? We will see. Rechelle Turner got a bird's eye view of what she can do in the regular season finale up there in Terre Haute when she put 26 on the Racers. So she knows she could score. And I think that the comment after was like, I mean, we just couldn't stop her. So in this run, gun, shoot, all of it, she seems like an absolutely perfect fit. Does Keslin Sechrist. The other one, as we mentioned, was Ellery Minch, who has signed out of DePaul, 6'3" guard, which just shows sort of the evolution of the game here. As played 21 games, about 2 points a game, Indiana kid, but has the ability to shoot from range. And as Rechelle Turner has gone to the Valley and sort of had to adapt from, I'm recruiting for the OVC to the Missouri Valley. It's about big guards, big wings, and Ellery Minch certainly fills that void at 6'3" and has 3 years of eligibility remaining. All right, we are going to try one more time and welcome in the head coach of the Murray State Racers, Rechelle Turner. Coach, hello. I cannot hear you. We had such high hopes today. I mean, the hair's good. I know that's been worked on today. I mean, we got the bright gold going. All right, we're gonna keep moving. We're gonna let you keep working over there in Murray. Down the road in Nashville, Tennessee, we had a young lady by the name of, and I love a kid with a nickname. And Belmont got one in Avery Ace Strickland. She is from Knoxville, Tennessee. She spent 1 year at Pitt. She went to Knoxville, played for the Lady Vols the last 2 years, and she has now signed with Bart Brooks and the Belmont Bruins. 6.5. Really, her best season was her freshman year at Pitt. 6.2 points, 34% from three. Went to Knoxville and never really found her footing. Only averaged about a 1.5 points, but a 5'10" guard that has shown she can play at some big levels. And as Bart Brooks loves to schedule tough and schedule up and all of it, and played for a Missouri Valley Conference tournament championship this year. This is a heck of a potential reload here with the ace. So he said, I love a good nickname, and kid comes in with one in Ace Strickland. So good signing there for Coach Brooks. This is going to be a running bit here this morning, I think. Nope, she has dipped out. So we're gonna get back to Coach Turner here in just. Oh, she is now back again. We will try one. It says, Coach Turner, are you there? You're not. Okay, I still can't hear you. No, and I don't have, and you can hear me, which is good because I didn't bring my phone in here with me. So you texting me doesn't help me right now because I'm a bad person. It says your microphone is not connected. That's what it's saying. So I don't know what that means, but we'll come back to you in a little bit. Moving along this morning here, another signing from Indiana State, and that is it's Kennedy Claybrooks, who played at SEMO last year. Didn't play a lot. Played 7 games, but 9.5 points a game. Shot 46% from three. Didn't take a ton. Took about 2 a game, but was 46%. Played 2 years at Texas State before she went to SEMO. So that is from a Indiana State had been sort of gutted from everybody going to the portal. I think it was all 13 went to the portal, and you go to their roster page, there's literally no one. And so if my math is right, this is the first edition now for coach over there at Indiana State. But Kennedy Claybrooks, a good year there at the a good year there in Cape Girardeau at Southeast Missouri State, and now we'll head to Terre Haute to play with the Sycamores. We talk about change, and we talk about evolutions of programs, and we talk about sort of the there's so much talent, and I hate to say that this was a golden age of the Missouri Valley, just from a standpoint of this league has been so good for so long, and there have been so many not only great but just flat out all time players in this league. But this has been a really good run in this league this year, and so many great guards, and you saw some like Amaya McDermott, Caba Laube at Northern Iowa, Grace Buffelli, who was an all-league forward for them, who has since entered the portal. She's gone on to Creighton, but Tanya Warren has had to go replace some good players, and she got 3 this week and has replaced some really good players with, on paper, could be some really good replacements. Jenna Twett, an Iowa kid, went to Kirkwood Community College, averaged 15 points a game there, 5'8" guard, shot 40% from three. Virginia Edmondson, who played at the NAIA at Montreat College over in North Carolina, 5'9", averaged 20 points a game last year at Montreat, and then goes and gets Lauren Walker, a 5'8" guard, high school kid out of Iowa, 25 points a game as a high school senior, first team All-State in Iowa. Maybe most importantly, from hey, we're replacing things, 48% from 3-point range. When you've got Maya McDermott and Caba Laube, who combined to average 31 points a game last year, McDermott shot 39% from three. Laube felt like she led the universe, 46% from three. When you can bring in these kids that are just sharpshooters like that, boy, you think is Northern Iowa even going to miss a beat this year with those sort of additions? But a good week for Coach Warren, most certainly. All right, is the 9th time the charm.
Can you hear me?
I could hear you.
Hey,
Welcome to the program, Coach
sorry
Rechelle.
about that. I have no idea. I'm technology challenged.
That's all right. That's why we have staff. You've got folks to delegate to, and that's glad you're with us. Glad you're with us. All right, let's go back. Let's go back 5 weeks now. Evansville, you guys win a Missouri Valley Conference championship. You cut the nets down. You celebrate. You get on the bus. You sprint back to Murray. You basically walk in the door. There's the selection show. Hey, we're playing Iowa. Now we got to get ready for that. We go to Norman. We play Iowa. The season ends. And then, oh, by the way, the portal opens in 10 minutes and we got to go. Have you and your staff and players and everybody in the program had time to smell one rose, let alone all the roses at this point from last year?
I think the players have had a little bit of time. We gave them 2 weeks off just to kind of recover and make sure that they were able to get their bodies back where they needed to be. Obviously, Caitlin's doing treatment, trying to get her ankle better for her to be able to work on towards her pro career. So we have some kids that still do treatments daily on different things, like Haben with her finger. Other people trying to just get their bodies recovered from such a grueling season. But coaches know it's been go since the minute we got back from Oklahoma, and obviously from some of the news that's come out this week, we've had a pretty good run.
Let's talk about Ellery Minch, 6'3" guard out of DePaul, played a year up there, but has decided she's going to be a racer. We've talked a lot over the years, the last couple of years since going to the Missouri Valley about got to get bigger, got to get longer. A 6'3" wing, that feels like that checks all those boxes.
Yeah, we recruited Ellery hard out of high school. So we had a relationship with her. Coach Faust had a unique relationship with her because he recruited her a little bit here. And then when he went to Buffalo, he also recruited her there, but she chose to go Power 4, which is understandable with her size and skill set. But, you never burn those bridges because you don't ever know. So when she went in the portal, it was immediate contact. We got her here as quick as possible because, she could play outside. She could play inside. She could play from the high post down. Obviously going to give us size defensively as well. So she was just a key piece that we went after hard. And we were very fortunate that she chose to be a racer.
When you talk about when you talk about the priorities in the portal, what were they for you this year?
Well, obviously losing Kate Nava, we have some size coming in, with Jaden Askins, one of our freshmen, but we had to go get post play. We had to go get wings. We had to go get stretch fours. And so that's exactly what we went after in the portal. And, with Ellery, she gives us a little bit inside out. Sharnice, obviously true post player that can come in, athletic, run the floor, do the things that we need them to do. So that was our first priority, is we had to get some size.
Sharnice Curry-Jelks, as you alluded to there, a former Ohio Valley Conference Freshman of the Year at UT Martin, 6'2", goes to Indiana for a couple of years, and now coming back to Murray State. Know she had some knee issues, but that was back in high school. But just in terms of her impact and sort of what you think her ceiling can be as a racer.
Well, it's another kid that we had a relationship with, recruited her hard out of high school. And just continued to maintain that relationship throughout. And we obviously, Jackson Southside, Coach McNeil's been good to us. We've got, she's a former Jackson Southside kid. And we've got Jaden Askins coming in. And obviously, probably the most legendary Southside kid is KJ, Keyshawn and James. So we've had a good run at Murray State through that school. But Sharnice just brings what we have to have. We have to have a little more athleticism. We have to have some size. We do have to have kids that are willing to bang, offensive rebound. And so she'll be uniquely different than the post players, obviously, that we've had. But I think that she will fit into the system extremely well.
Caitlin Young, the all-timer in your program's history. You lose seniors every year, and senior classes come and go of different resumes and so on. But when you have a kid that's your all-time leading scorer, your all-time leading rebounder, jersey hanging from the rafters, the undisputed best player to ever walk the halls of your program, how much of just a culture shift is that in trying to, she's been such a security blanket for 5 years for you guys. And now, okay, she's not here. We need to figure out what we are moving forward.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Travis was nagging me the other night, and he's like, "You have no idea how to coach without her, do you?" And I said, I don't. We've been thinking long and hard about the changes that we need to make, and about the different adjustments that we've got to do not having her, but being able to throw the ball to her in crucial situations, especially this year, as well as she played in conference play down the stretch. That's going to be tough. And she has built this program. She has surrounded herself with great people, and we've been very fortunate to be able to do that in recruiting. But it all ebbed and flowed through her, and she stepped up this year on the biggest stage, and just cemented her career with the championship. So and the thing about it is with Caitlin and my relationship, I'm going to miss her just as much day to day as I'm going to miss her being on the court. I mean, she comes in every day, sits down. We talk about everything. She's just such a mature young lady. And I just learned so much from her. I mean, she has made me a better coach in so many ways. And I am so thankful to her for choosing us and trusting us, and her family for choosing us and trusting us. And more than anything, the loyalty that she showed by staying, because I can tell you unequivocally, these numbers are crazy in the portal that some of these kids are getting, some of these kids are asking for. We've dealt with a lot of that this spring. So for her to stay at Murray State and do what she did for us, I will forever be grateful for Caitlin Young.
I have heard you say dozens of times over the years about when it's that moment of, we need a bucket, and we're going to Caitlin Young. She's not there. How does one of the returners, one of the new kids, whoever's on your roster this year, next year, moving forward, how does someone earn that from you of, they're the one that we need one right now, we're going to you?
Yeah, trust is definitely earned. And that's something that we will be able to see in practice. We will be able to see how they react to certain situations. Obviously, I put kids in the most uncomfortable situations I possibly can, either if that's me staying on them, or we have to do certain things in practice, or we're going to run. We try to create game situations as much as possible. We even do that with our free throws. We don't get a drink of water at practice till we earn it, and we earn it by making 2 free throws. But I think the things that you put emphasis on and the things that you prioritize are what become the norm for your basketball team. So we've got some good choices on our roster coming back for kids that have taken and made big shots throughout the year this year. So we will definitely have auditions for that to see who's able to complete those plays when we need them the most.
You are now a championship program. How much different, easier, better was it to try to go recruit this year when you've got something, not a, hey, we're close, but hey, we've done it, and we want you to come be a part of this?
I think that was key in us getting the portal kids that we got this year, saying, we're champions, and our goal and our only goal is to go back and win it again. And you change your conversations in recruiting now, because once you get to the top, they say it's really hard to stay there. And I believe that, but that's our intention, is to be in the mix, to be in the conversation every single year. So I definitely believe that helps us moving forward in recruiting the top-notch kids that we're trying to recruit, because we're going against all the other Valley schools. We're going against Power 4 schools to get the kids that we want, because you have to play at that high of a level to be able to come in here and help us win another championship. So we're extremely grateful that we were able to get that championship, and to be able to use that and to continue to build on that championship culture.
When we are now going into year 3 of the system, and it's still kind of in its toddler phase, you guys are still trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. We've seen some evolution of, hey, we're not going to press every single team we play, because that was killing us a little bit. But what can get better? What tweaks, without giving away all the secret sauce, but is there still room for it to grow and evolve?
Oh, absolutely. We haven't even actually done the system yet, the way it was designed to be. And some of that was because last year injuries and depth became an issue. And so we had to tone down how much we were able to play full court defense. But I think if you kind of look at it in one of these ways, the first year of the system, we averaged 84 points a game. The second year of the system, we averaged 87. We need to average 90. And that's going to be easier said than done. And we have to replace a lot of great offense that we lost due to graduation, but you have to have more possessions, and you create more possessions by more full court pressure, playing even faster than we did. And that's what we're trying to build. So we are going to try to implement not only analytically, but just some things that we have been trying to do all along. Because one thing we think we have created in the portal, God willing, and everybody stays healthy, is depth. And so the more depth we have, the more, 80 or 94 feet we can play.
Speaking of injuries, speaking of depth, you had one young lady that last year made it, I think, 2 full days of practice before her season came to a close, and that was Cam Hoover, and Destiny Thomas, who did play and got hurt middle of the season, and really limited your interior depth as the season went on. But Cam, as a kid, I know you were super high on last year. Got to see her kind of go through some warm-ups, at least a lot of straight line stuff the last month of the season, just to have her, maybe break a little bit of a sweat with the lights on without actually getting into a games. How is she, and when can we take the shackles off and watch her just run 100 miles an hour again?
Cam's fully released. She's full go since we started back a couple weeks ago, and she looks great. Physically, she's there. It's just going to be the mental part of it. Anybody that is had an ACL tear will tell you that the mental part of it is the most difficult thing to get over. Trusting that you're going to be able to play and go full force without hurting yourself again. So we're working through that, and we're just working on the process of her getting back. I told her we would start talking about the results in August, but for right now, through the summer, we're just working on process of getting her back. But her ceiling is extremely high. She's a kid that we feel like can play the 4 for us. We feel like she can play the 3. She can stretch the floor. She's one of the only kids that I've ever coached that actually shoots a jump shot. So she has the ability to do lots of different things. So we're really high on her and looking forward to getting her back full go.
Destiny Thomas, they said, tore her ACL, I think late January, I think it was, maybe early February, still months. The rehab has begun for her. You never want to, I don't know. You'd love to say, hey, she can be back in 6 months, 9 months, whatever it is. Do you have an expectation that she will have a 100% free to go at some point this upcoming season?
Oh, for sure. I think she'll be 100% full go. But when we start official practice, and she's already shooting, she's already doing ball handling. She's doing everything that she can, and she looks great. And she's already been through this once, so she kind of understands the mental aspect of it. So hopefully she'll recover from that quicker, just simply because she's been there, done that. But really impressed with how hard she's worked and where she's at this point. So, not being able to go full go during preseason obviously will put her behind to some extent. But I know Destiny, and when she gets released, she'll work as hard as she can to get back to where she was last year or even better.
My last question for you. Pressure is a privilege, as you like to say, and expectations, I guess, are a privilege as well. You have been climbing a mountain for 8 years, and in year 8, you finally got to the top and you got to plant your flag. There are going to be expectations on your team because of all this great talent that was lost at the end of this season. You had 4 all-league kids. 2 of them have graduated and moved on, but you've got 2 back, and nobody else in the league's got 2 all-league kids coming back. How are you prepared to prepare your kids for the bullseye this year? This was a hey, maybe we can call it gimmicky, and we're just going to go run and score a lot of points, and that's great. And but not only do you go score a lot of points, you went and beat everybody in the league. You went and win a conference championship. Now everybody knows what is coming into their gym every night. How do you get your guys ready for that?
Well, we do what we always do. We start in the summer with our team bonding and our chemistry, our culture. The only thing we will work on besides culture and chemistry in June is transition offense. So we just start over. But we do that every year. We did that this year with this year's team. Every team's different. So, we won't truly know what we've got and what people are capable to do till they get to campus and we kind of put them together. But we have a great nucleus coming back. And I truly believe in that nucleus, and I believe in those kids. And I know that they love the taste of winning and that they want to continue to do that. And so we'll just take it one day at a time. But ultimately, seasons are long, and you just got to build brick by brick. But I would rather be in this position than to still be seeking a championship. So our goal with Murray State women's basketball is to stay on top. It is to stay in the mix, be in the conversation every single year, and give ourselves a chance to win.
Rechelle Turner, head coach of the Murray State Racers, thank you for the time. Hopefully at some point here, very near future, you can at least spend 5 minutes and smell some roses and watch a banner drop there at the bank. Thanks for the time. We'll talk with you soon.
Thank you.
All right. There is Coach Turner as the Racers reloading for 2025-26. As we talked about before, Coach Turner joined us at Northern Iowa, adding their 3 signees this week with Coach Tanya Warren. Talked about the kids that lost to graduation, Maya McDermott, Cable Lauby, some old friends finding new places. We said Grace Buffelli, the former all-conference forward for UNI. She has committed to finish her career at Creighton. Connor Hickman, former Bradley standout, went to Cincinnati this past season, got hurt, went back into the portal. And again, as we've talked about, probably more than we need to keep banging on the drum. He was like, hey, Zeke Montgomery left Bradley, went to Rhode Island, came back. Connor Hickman leaves Bradley, goes to Cincinnati. Could he come back? He's going to go finish his career at Charleston. And Isaiah Walker, the Belmont standout, has committed to Xavier. He is from Wyoming, Ohio, which is outside of Cincinnati, and Xavier is in Cincinnati. His dad played at Xavier, so maybe shouldn't be surprised in the end that that's a family affair there for Isaiah Walker. But the former Bruin is now a Musketeer with X. Isaiah Swope, who had a great season at Indiana State 2 years ago, went to St. Louis with Coach Josh Schertz when Schertz left Terre Haute to take over the Billiken program. Averaged 17 points a game last year, did Swope, but he is going back into the transfer portal for one last season. At Bradley, a lot of change there for head coach Brian Wardle, as he has had some coaching movement is probably the best way to put it. With some guys leaving his program. We saw Jimmy Foster, associate head coach, going to Colorado State with Ali Faroukmanesh. You saw Mike Bargan, associate head coach, go to Indiana with Darren DeVries. Coach Wardle has reloaded, added some new staff. Alan Hansen is coming in as an assistant coach from Southern Utah. Bobby Suarez coming in as an assistant from Portland. And then Cameron Street from Western Illinois. He will be the director of basketball operations. Those are all the reports out of Peoria on the staff additions there. Mike Black and Pat Altoff will be back with Coach Wardle next season. Coach Wardle also, while he's at it, went and got a new commitment, and that is from an A.J. Smith, as A.J. Smith played at James Madison, and he has committed to Bradley. Played 2 years at Southern Indiana, went to James Madison for 1 year. He's got 1 year left. 6'6" guard from Edwardsville, Illinois, so a little bit of a roundabout homecoming back at least into the land of Lincoln. 7.6 rebounds a game at George Mason last year, so a good pickup for Bradley, who's certainly has lost a lot of pieces this season off a really good team there in Peoria for the Braves. How about UIC? They have entered the chat as well, as Rob Eson has picked up a signing. Sam Silverstein is a transfer from Cal Baptist, as he has let's see if we can get old Sammy in there. There he is, Sam Silverstein, 2 years at Harvard. So basketball IQ, we're going to say, is up there for Sam Silverstein. 1 year at Cal Baptist, 4.6 rebounds a game, 6'6" junior guard from Glencoe, Illinois. It is 24 miles from Chicago. So another young man in the countless reasons guys go into the portal and look for new homes. Sometimes it's just, I want to get closer to home, and certainly California Baptist to UIC UIC a whole lot closer to Glencoe, Illinois. So Sam Silverstein is a UIC Flame. A couple other commitments here as we wrap things up this morning. Nick McLean from Eastern Washington has also committed to Belmont, as Nick McLean, third on the team in scoring at Eastern Washington last year, 10.5 points at 3.5 rebounds, 4 assists per game. Should have 2 years left. I think there was some junior college on the front end of that. It is a, it's just, it used to be easy when it was like guys got 4 years and a fifth if they redshirted, whether they sat out to develop or maybe they got hurt, maybe they transferred. It was very easy. And then you got the COVID year. Did the kid take the COVID year? Did he not take the COVID year? Now you have if you played junior college, if you played NAIA, those years don't count. And so and this is where we get into these 6th year, 7th year guys. And so even when it's only a 3rd year here for Nick McLean, you're just like I don't know. And maybe in the era of the portal where guys come and go so much, worrying about if they're going to be at a school for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, it's bandwidth, brain bandwidth that's not necessary to even worry about. We'll just take everything 1 year at a time here. But Nick McLean, an Alabama kid, Florida kid rather, Jennings, Florida, coming from Eastern Washington, a whole lot closer to home. He will play for Casey Alexander and the Bruins next season. On the women's side, Zanira Adams, she has signed with Illinois State. She is a junior college standout from Texas, Cisco Junior College. She was the freshman of the year in her conference 2 seasons ago. 18 points, 9 rebounds a game, 5'9" guard. Sat out all of last year with an injury. So again, according to the math, I think this is 4 years that she's got up in normal if she is interested. But a kid that can score most certainly, and for Kristen Gillespie, that's a nice addition to her roster for next season. And one final note from this morning, and we talked on Wednesday that Titan Anderson from Northern Iowa was an academic All-American from the college sports communicators. One of 15. There's only 15 academic All-Americans. Titan was a second-team All-American. Drake's Katie Dinnebeer, a first-team academic All-American, the 2-time Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year, the Jackie Stiles Award winner. Unbelievable. I mean, that is the walking, talking, just the perfect synopsis of student athlete and being unbelievable at both of them. Katie was, there certainly felt like a kid that could go, and whether, we just had the WNBA draft, whether she could go there, whether she wanted to go overseas. And she's like, I'm going to go take care of my pharmacy degree and I'm going to go be a pharmacist, and good for her on all of that. But a great honor there for Katie Dinnebeer, first team academic All-American from the college sports communicators. All right. That does it this morning here for Morning in the Valley. It has been felt like just the transaction pages of the back of the newspaper from back in the day. All kinds of commitments and signings, and we will get hopefully get those commitments into signings and have those for you on Monday. Another busy weekend, as I believe the portal closes on the guys' side. I think it's Tuesday, so time is running out for those decisions to be made, and some guys getting in here late, and sometimes it's some strategy of don't get lost in the first wave, kind of come in late and see, when schools have maybe missed out on some guys and they're like, oh, that guy's available, we'll go take him. So, the portal is not closed until it is closed, and there's still a few more days left on that. But several schools in the Missouri Valley, both the men's and women's side, still have a lot of work to do and roster additions as they get their rosters ready for 25-26. Happy Easter, everybody. If you are celebrating, have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday morning, just like we will be all off season. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 a.m. right here. If you are watching this on Facebook or X, we thank you for that. If you're over on YouTube, especially thank that. You can like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. If you subscribe to the YouTube page, you'll get the notification firing up as soon as we go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 9 a.m. So enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your holiday weekend, and we will see you on Monday right here on Morning in the